Going over to the Political Podcast, you have Ben Shapiro sticking up for the H1B visa program. This is brought to us thanks to someone by the name of America Culturist, who posted it. His hashtag is AMERI, Americultist. He says, quote, Ben Shapiro comes out in support of H1B visas. Is anyone surprised? Which, at least Ben Shapiro suited up that day. He did one thing right. Of course, guys, this is sponsored by Birch Gold. Go to birchgold.com, ExpressVPN. Aha, could you tell the difference between me and Ben? Probably.
There are, in fact, certain positions in the United States that require a level of expertise that may not be reachable in the numbers that are currently being churned out by American universities. That is a shortcoming of our educational system, and it is a problem. And so you can say we should up our game. I agree. We should absolutely up our game educationally. But in the meantime, if you do not bring in the labor supply, particularly to tech, tech will go find the labor supply. And so what you will end up with is an office that was employing 30 Americans and 3 H-1B visa people. If the costs grow too high.
Oh, it's changed already, Benny boy. It's like 5 American employees and 15 H-1B visa holders. It's been happening dramatically, especially the past 5 years, in terms of corporate America and technology in that industry especially. And a lot of those jobs are entry-level IT jobs. And again, there are some very specific high-end IT jobs out there. I admit that. But a lot of these H-1B visa holders, they're going for the entry-level roles, and Americans are training them, and then they get fired. They're training the replacements.
High, simply moving to another country where they hire 30 Indians and 0 Americans.
Because Ben Shapiro not heard of like Wipro or Capgemini or Cognizant? Like all the major consulting companies in tech, they already do this in terms of their headquarters and a lot of the tech support jobs, especially in developer jobs. They're in India. It is in terms of, offshoring that. I mean, Ross Perot with, EDS, a cool sign behind me, he was one of the first big companies to do that in the United States. Years later, India came in and eat a lot of people's lunch. And so what he's saying is already happening to a great extent. It happened years ago. We're seeing kind of a next 2.0 generation of that.
Right. This is the problem with the reason companies offshore is not because it's easy or fun to simply move your company somewhere else. It's because the labor cost becomes so prohibitive in the United States that companies move away. And you can try to tariff them back, but all that does is artificially raise the price on Americans. Again, we're talking about affordability. There are trade-offs in economics. Autarky comes with the fun feeling that everybody in America is making American product. It comes with the...
Again, he does have a point here. One of the reasons you do foreign labor and outsource jobs is the cost of labor in the United States. Also regulation, but no topic for another time, perhaps.
Very large downside that your products are economically inefficient, they don't work as well, and you're not globally competitive. Right? All policies have trade-offs. It is also better for the American people, broadly speaking, to bring in the best from other countries. Now, how do you determine the best?
Bring in the best from other countries. Again, Ben Shapiro, that statement is accurate if we were to bring the most advanced people on the planet here. But as we've seen, we're bringing people for the H1B visa program. I mean, it's in industries as rudimentary, and again, not to be pejorative about some jobs, but in terms of technical skills, and there are some more entry-level jobs like agricultural, restaurant manager jobs. Americans can do those. And again, the tech jobs, a lot of those jobs, Americans are training the replacements and then they're getting fired. A lot of them are entry-level tech jobs. I mean, they make it sound like it's only, we're only bringing in a couple hundred people. It's going to be the very specific, very, intricate roles in IT. No, it's a lot of entry-level folks. And again, friendly reminder, 45 million people on the H-1B visa program in the United States? You're telling me all those guys are more qualified than Americans? All those roles are too complex for Americans to do? Really? Yeah, I don't think so.
You can make, again, the case that the H-1B visa program is fatally flawed. It's not bringing in enough of the best. I will point out that many of our best founders in the United States are either immigrants or the children of immigrants who came in on H-1B visas or who came in just generally without an H-1B visa through other forms of legal immigration.
Okay, but then they also employed Americans. They didn't outsource a lot of those jobs. What's the point here?
Students. And the reality is that maybe our screening procedures should be different, but we need to see specifics on what the screening procedures you're applying are that would allow for there to be, for example, an Elon Musk American citizen creating tens of thousands of jobs. Or the head of Google, Sundar Pichai, creating tens of thousands of jobs.
I thought he was doing stand-up comedy for a second there. Those are two of the most prolific or one of the most biggest examples of the H-1B visa program, be Elon Musk and Google. Famously, they import people in the millions from the H1B visa program to do entry-level tech jobs. And again, some high-level stuff as well. But in terms of mass volume, there are jobs that, again, Americans are training them and then getting replaced by them. So it's funny he uses those companies and those people as examples.
Or the head of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, creating tens of thousands of jobs. Now you can say that maybe if those people...
Microsoft, what did they just lay off 10,000 people, American workers? Again, they're creating jobs, but also firing people too. And in many cases, for cheaper H1B visa labor.
didn't exist, there would be an American who just did that job. But that is now living in the realm of theory. Okay, it's not living in the realm of reality. Brain draining other countries is also a good thing for America in terms of our own global competitiveness.
Yeah. Again, they're bringing in, they have 45 million people here. Are those the best of those countries? Some of them, again, might be highly qualified individuals who are extremely good at their job. However, in terms of mass volume, as I've said in nauseum, they're entry-level jobs that any hardworking American can do with good work ethic, and someone's just hungry for knowledge. Yeah, he's saying, oh yeah, there's only a couple. Which, again, I would believe maybe if the H-1B visa program was like 100,000 people. The scale, 45 million? Again, there's unemployed Americans. Yeah, I don't think that's not going to fly. Now, it's got very valid. Got 1.3 million views and 14,000 likes. Elon, I don't know why you think this is the joke in IT is it's not a bug, it's a feature. When you scroll back up to the video, it automatically starts to replay, but nevertheless, it's a little annoying. Got 1.3 million views and 14,000 likes. One of the first comments comes to us thanks to Saji Oreo, says Ben is fading into irrelevance. 2.4 thousand likes. Ben also lost another 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, getting 2,000 likes. That was America Cultist's response. Though again, Ben Shapiro still has 7 million subscribers. So in terms of YouTube, subscriber count, he's not really hurting yet. Let's see. Mr. Crawley says, and Ben, there's a picture of the Israeli flag. It says, go stand with Israel, you F word. It's Mark Levin and, what is that other guy? David Portnoy, getting 479 likes. EVT Groiper has pictures of Ben Shapiro, who says, quote, I think identity politics is bad and immoral. I'm also very proud of my Jewish identity and support the ethno-state of Israel, getting 984 likes. America First has a picture of Ben saying, give us Barbaros, getting 481 likes. AMV says, simply F Ben Shapiro. There's a very famous picture of men, back when men were men, actually sitting on a skyscraper, just a steel beam on a lunch break. With no safety gear. OSHA, man, OSHA would have a heart attack if they start to see that nowadays. Getting 245 likes. Sorry, 295 likes. Let's see here. Crypto Texas says Ben Shapiro's, I don't know what this means. Kipan grows bigger as America gets browner. Kipan. I thought that was what was a particular term for the hat? Yarmulke. I don't know if that's a pejorative term for that, but that got 317 likes. M. Pepe says, it's such a good idea. Why doesn't Israel do it? There's a famous picture of Brett Cooper, and she says, I think you'd be happier in Israel, which she was roasting one of the U.S. senators, getting 83 likes. Let's see. Charles Ash Grok, and Grok, again, the AI from Twitter, says, quote, Israel admits very few Indian immigrants annually, mostly Benai Menche from Northeast India, who qualify for citizenship under the law of return as Jewish descendants. Data indicates that about 1,400 such arrivals over the past 5 years, averaging roughly 280 yearly, which total historical aliyah from India at around 30,000 since 1948. Non-Jewish Indians received no permanent immigration pathways and enter primarily as temporary workers, number 18,000 to 20,000 employed but not residing as immigrants. Getting 88 likes. Let's see. Maddie has a quote from Ben Shapiro, June 16, 2017, in which he says, and by the way, I don't give a good damn about the so-called browning of America. Color doesn't matter, ideology does, getting 255 likes, which, I tend to agree with. Ideology and culture is what matters most. Also have Stop Communism Now says, not in the slightest. It's the Indiana Jones meme or meme. Indiana Jones is labeled as Jewish, and the bag that he replaces the golden idol is called Third World, and the old gold idol is white people, getting 27 likes. Let's see here. We also have Sean Kelly says, for the sake of the country, 51,111,000 must be deported immediately. Actually 51,100,001 because Ben Shapiro must go as well. This is the reasonable and moderate opinion. Gained 224 likes. Lulu Bell has a meme from the pawn stores and says, fix the job market. And then Rick goes, best I can do is more H1Bs. Gained 30 likes, which, again, there's a lot of unemployed Americans, especially in tech. Again, anecdotally speaking, just talking to my friends in the industry, I know more unemployed people now than compared to presidential elections or even the pandemic. And again, usually, presidential elections are kind of usually there's a little downtrend of the economy because a lot of uncertainty. Businesses kind of decrease their spend as they don't know how their business might be more or less regulated in the coming years. And yeah, I've known more good working people are unemployed now than nearly ever before. And I know some of them who, again, trained their replacement who was here on an H1B visa. You also have Kittler saying his hat just got a little bit bigger, gained 1,700 likes. Chief engineer says you cannot be for displacing American workers and be for America, so he's globalist, getting 201 likes. The Kitty Man says same team, and it's just two flags crossing India as well as Israel, gained 89 likes. Let's see. A lot of people just focusing on Ben's hat. A couple more people having let's see here. Statistics on, college entry level of international students. Let's see. Bill Mitchell says, people don't understand what Trump is talking about. Allow me to explain. Talking about tech jobs, gained 3 likes. Let's see. The guy from HS says, Ben Shapiro is a subversive GDP only up guy. No way, gained 47 likes. A lot of people talking about media companies owned by people of Jewish descent, getting 24 likes. A lot of people with frogs getting 12 to 50 likes. Let's see. Idamus says, quote, this would be convincing if America was a corporation, but it is not. It is a nation it is a people, a nation, and should be run for the benefit of those peoples. I don't see Shapiro advocating for importing millions of Indians to Israel. I guess only Jews have to have a actual country, getting 99 likes. Which when I first started the show, I joked that I spoke faster than Ben Shapiro, more awkwardly than Joe Biden trying to come upstairs. I had like 3 subscribers, maybe 4. But as I slowly but surely gotten better at speaking, I got more subscribers. Which leads to my theory. The more people that click that subscribe button, the better I'll get at speaking, and someday make it through an entire episode speaking perfectly, articulately, and awesomely. Probably, maybe. So again, click that button, tell your friends and your enemies. Your enemies might be so enamored and impressed by your choice of podcast material, they then become your friends. Or they hate my face in the show so much, they then become greater enemies, and it results in a physical altercation. So maybe I shouldn't recommend it. Either way, make for an interesting story. So tell your friends and tell your enemies. You also have Jerome Powell action figure saying, how about H1B in Israel with a path to citizenship? Is he for that? Getting 64 likes. First Down says, and rebuttal to what he said, getting 60 likes. Was he ratioed? Let's see. No. Control Alt Drew says, can someone fire Ben Shapiro and replace him with an H1B visa person instead? Getting 15 likes. Let's see. Francis, the base nationalist, says Israel desperately needs all of our H1B visa workers. You should be advocating for Israel to take our H1B visa holder applicants. Getting 52 likes. Let's see. Only Malnus says, I'm just pissed off at this point. They stand there telling everyone we don't have enough trained Americans to fill these jobs, and then their big genius move is what? Dumping hundreds of thousands of foreign students into universities while Americans get shoved to the side? It's such an obvious contradiction that it almost feels like they're doing it on purpose. Getting 42 likes. Yeah. Bill Hickey says, brain draining other countries is a short-term thinking. We have American businesses leaders allowed U.S. colleges to become left-wing. We have Americans business leaders allowed, this grammar is terrible, U.S. colleges to become leftist seminars instead of developing institutions for world-class American workers because why should they face the cost and obstacles of reforming American education? They could simply cherry-pick the world for cheaper labor they paid nothing to develop. As automation of agriculture business will take the easy and cheap imported labor solution instead of investing in equipment or training unless the state goes off to access to cheap foreign labor. But the second opinion is one of the best for Americans and business to long run, getting 21 likes. Let's see. Fedpo says, this is he's pretending to make a quote from Ben Shapiro, so I'll try his accent. Okay, guys, they should Patreon to be replaced by your own country. Okay, guys, expressvpn.com/Ben Shapiro. Also, Bird Skulled. They got 58 likes. Yeah, and I do think, again, this is one of the most, I think, I don't know, I guess it's become controversial, but yeah, this is one of the most controversial topics in politics. I think it's going to have a significant, it'll be one of the top 5 things discussed during the upcoming midterms. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.